Yes, yes.
So I ended up stopping, it's maybe Pennsylvania, Connecticut, I think.
Right.
I stopped at a store, just 8:30, and I was panicking, trying to figure out, and then I was like, oh my God, I'll bet I could get a car headlight.
And I just...
So I got car headlight and duct tape, and I took it apart. It was a Kawasaki KZ900.
Yeah.
I took the headlight apart. I managed to wire in the car headlight,
right.
and I duct tape it.
That's it.
Then I kept going. And on the you need to get going probably, but on the KZ900, some of them had a self-lubing chain.
Okay.
Like the oil would drip just a little bit on the chain all the time.
Oh, nice.
They put a one-piece chain, so you had to take off the sprockets and put on new chain and
right.
sprockets because they wanted you to do it all at the same time.
Yes.
So there was no master link. I thought it was lubing itself. It wasn't. So all the time it was getting hot. The chain was getting hot, you know. Because I would only lube it once in a while when it looked like it was dry, but I didn't know that when it's hot, it softens the metal.
Right.
So as I'm going on my trip,
it
starts
up.
to skip off. So
right.
I'm like, oh shit, I stop and of course loosen the axle, 2 screws, pull the wheel back a little bit, you know, and then it's good. Then a while later, same thing.
Same thing happened.
Because the chain stretching a little bit. No master link, so it's not like you can just stop and take it apart and
yes.
it up. So then I started going back home. There was a woman that I was in love with, a young woman in college. She worked in Mammoth Cave, Kentucky for the summer recreation.
Right.
About halfway through the summer, I couldn't stand it anymore, so I just got on my bike and I just took off. You know, you do stupid things for love, probably. So I had a great time, but on the way back, then it was skipping, and the wheel was all the way back. So I was sitting by the side of the road, and I was like, oh my God, because at 24 years old, you can't call your mama to say, get a trailer, come pick me up.
No. You had no business on that road to begin with.
So what I did, because I had things like, I had survival equipment, like I had a buck knife, and I had rope, and I had oil, and stuff like that.
Right.
I stopped, I cut down my theory was, I was looking at the physics of it, like I can't make the path the chain has to go longer. Well wait, yes I can. If I cut down a good sized stick and I stick it in and have the chain running up over it, that might tighten it just enough so it wouldn't skip off, because I was afraid it was going to skip right off and damage something, you know. So I would ease up slowly and shift and then ease up and it was good. But then of course it would cut through the stick. So I have to stop and get another stick, and it was still heating up even though I put oil, and it was a mess kind of. But and then another guy who was on a KZ1000 anniversary edition stopped to ask me what I was doing, because I was over there, you know, with my bike. Right. And he was like, you okay? Because it looks like Maine license plate. My mom lives in Maine. That's where I'm going. I could ride with you. And then he looked. He's like, what the hell? You have wood sticking. Because there's a stick, 2 sides, and it cut off sawdust or whatever, you know, chips. And I'm cutting down a little tree, you know. Right. So then I had to put 2 sticks together. Go up over both sticks. 2 sticks and move them far apart. So 1 stick was over here, 1 stick was over here. Thanks, Blake. And so it was like, oh wow. It was like we're supposed to be back maybe 5 o'clock at night, and it was 2 a.m. by the time I finally made it. Oh, I remember. I made it to my friend's house. There was a friend on the way, and we were zooming, like he had a 750, and we were like, man, letting off, and he was pulling little wheelies and whatever. And then my helmet tumbled off and went into the ditch. And then he's beeping his horn and flashing his light. So I thought, you know, he's just having fun or whatever. But then I was like, wait a minute. My helmet was securely locked on the hook there. It was securely locked. And why is he beeping his horn and stuff? Well, the bridge rectifier, which is part of what controls the electricity to the battery, It's almost like a alternator on a car.
Right.
There was a defect and it caught on fire and it burned my side cover, but then it burned the strap on my
On the helmet.
So my helmet went bouncing off into the ditch.
Oh man.
And but the motorcycle shop was not open on Sundays. So we had to put a switch on the headlight to turn it off, charge the battery up, and then drive to the next state that had that part.
Right.
And in the parking lot, we tore it apart and we put the part on, and just the side cover was mangled. And so those were the kinds of things that happened along
On the way, yeah.
But my self-confidence was through the roof after that.
True.
Because problems came up and I handled it.
And you handle
So
it, yeah. Well, I'm going all the way up to Alaska, so we'll see how that turns out.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna do the Dalton Highway.
That's so exciting.
Yes.
I wish you the best.
Thank you, sir.
Sending positive energy your way.
Thank you.
You look like you could be. Did you ever watch a Mel Gibson? Was it Road Warrior?
Yes. Yes.
Where it was apocalyptic.
Yes.
And,
yes.
You look like a road warrior.
I know, right?
Like,
I've got everything.
I love it.
Thank you.